Hello, I'm Jan Mulvey and you're watching the Redmen TV.
Hello and welcome to the Redmen TV. The transfer window is officially open. Have we signed anyone yet?
No.
Have we, bollocks? So we're going to stick to rumours, hearsay and conjecture again.
And we're better to start than the Daily Mirror.
We're better.
Brendan Rodgers is considering a £7 million move for Denver Bar because he's available in a knockdown price until July 31st because of a clause in his contract.
People have been banging on about that since January, basically, haven't they? That for some reason when they signed him, they left this minimum fee release clause in, but it only until a point.
It's a ticking time bomb of transfer rumours, it is. It's brilliant.
Amazing, fucking hell. You imagine we to mix today, haven't you? Yeah, to be honest, yeah, fine. Is he fine? Yeah. I mean, what's interesting is a lot of this transfer stuff ties into an interview that Brendan Rodgers has done this week. He's done on Talk, but we touched briefly on it on our subscriber show, but we're going to go into it a little bit more detail. Essentially, he said he wants 3 or 4 players, but the key point that he's made there is that he said, there's not many players out there essentially who can improve us or who have the ability to make an impact at Liverpool. So this sort of, for me, this impacts, I think, where we're looking for players. It says to me that we're looking to bring in players who are boss.
Who we're going to go straight into our first team and improve our squad that way, rather than the Rafa Benitez way of let's just get filler in to improve our squad.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, Brendan Rodgers hasn't even had his whole squad yet. So he's not going to go and make any outlandish transfers without looking at what he's got and where he needs to strengthen.
And this is it, because he'll have an idea. I mean, we all do. You watch a football team, he'll have done his research, he'll have watched the tapes, he'll have played, played us twice last season. He'll have a base idea, but he'll want to go in and run the rule over everything, and that goes academy all the way up to the top end as well. And you'd be foolish if you've only got, and I was discussing this today, if you've only got a limited budget, say we've only got 20 million to spend, you're not going to go out and spend half of that before you've even seen what you've got. Because what happens if you spend, I think this is where Roy Hodgson made his mistakes. I think he bought players for him or bought whatever. You buy players just to buy players, and then you go, oh shit, hang on, what system do we need? And you realise that's when you end up with 3 players for one position and 1 for another.
And that's why he's going to look at Aquilani as well, isn't it? If he thinks he needs to strengthen in centre mid, why not have a look at Aquilani?
He's definitely, we've said this as well. Joe Cole's obviously going to get a look, and the idea is, of course, is if you can get Aquilani or Joe Cole, if you can get value for them in a Liverpool shirt next season, then you can spend your money better elsewhere. Moving on, but we'll stick with the rumours.
Yeah, well, TalkSport obviously is now. Brendan's come out and said about Luis Suarez. I've had a brilliant chat with Luis. He's really looking forward to being here. We're obviously hoping we can get him onto another new contract. He's really looking forward to the new season. Yeah,
so hopefully that he's doing his best to sort of quash any Suarez rumours. Just on a point, we obviously mentioned Luis Suarez, and we asked and I have to stress the purely hypothetical question of, if you got a 40 million bid for Suarez, would you accept it? Don't want to see Suarez go. I think a few people jumped on some sort of crazy bandwagon last week.
I think the point was, if you can put us 2 years down the 5-year plan, or whatever it is, 2 years down a 3-year plan, you said to me, would you take it? Yes, because that means we're making progress. Yeah. And 2 years is a long time in football.
The ultimate question was, is Liverpool Football Club a side that could do with having 2 £20 million players? 2 £20 million players instead of Luis Suarez? And that's debatable. It genuinely depends on who the £20 million players are. Because 2 £20 million players could be another Downing, another Henderson. If that's the answer, then no, you'd have Suarez every day of the week. But 2 £20 million players could be another Fernando Torres, another Fernando Torres and another Suarez. You know what I mean? And that's where you've got to think about it that way. But no, I think Brendan Rodgers has been very wise there, because ultimately, we said this again last week, we've only got about 4 majorly saleable assets in that squad. Luis Suarez is obviously the highest profile of them all. He's going to be linked with everyone who's got a little bit of money and a bit of ambition this summer. So yeah, no, fair play. I'm very happy that Brendan's done that. He dealt with that well.
Daily Mirror again, Liverpool are interested in signing Fulham's Clint Dempsey, so this one rumbles on.
They're talking 10 million though, aren't they?
Yeah.
20 for a 29-year-old.
But this one's come from Tom Werner, so I wouldn't read too much into this.
What?
Is that he's actually said, we never talk publicly about our transfer targets. However, any team would be lucky to have Clint Dempsey playing on their squad.
I'm sure that's an old quote.
It is, it's from like, I think it's the back end of May or something.
Yeah, strange how they should. I mean, obviously silly season, isn't it? Let's get that one out there. It sounds like bollocks, but it makes obvious. It's an obvious sort of move, isn't it? He's a good quality. He's one of the better quality players in the Premier League. Playing for a lower end club, he's probably going to move this summer. He's American. We've got American owners. You know what? Why not link him with it? He's not good enough to play for Man United.
I think the other thing is that the market in America is still growing. And in the same way that Man United might buy an Asian player or something, or Roma did it back in the day, is that if you do buy one of those players, you instantly get that money back in sales on shirts and stuff. And breaking that American market, Clint Dempsey would really help us with that, because he is their superstar.
Well, there's the thing, because £10 million, if that's the fee that's being mooted, is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous amount of money, but it's the point is that, like the David Beckham transfer to Real Madrid, is you pay for him, and he pays for himself, doesn't he? The shirt sales alone that you'd make stateside would probably generate enough to make it a worthwhile transfer. So, you know,
apparently we've sold out, haven't we, the Red Sox stadium?
not on a wider sense. We're not going back there again. No, sorry, go on. The Roma game, is it the first?
Yeah, but Roma haven't sold their tickets allocation out.
So if anyone fancies donning a orangey red shirt and, you know, trying to knife Liverpool fans in the buttock, then by all means try and get in with the Roma fans there. Like, you know, fucking good luck with that. Don't do that. Anyway, carry on.
Daily Mirror again, we're eyeing Bolton's attacking midfielder Mark Davies in a $6 million swoop, and this is on the back of us losing out on Gylfi, if we do in fact lose out on him.
Yeah, well, yeah, great. Sets the fucking heart racing. Mark Davies from Bolton. And the worst thing was, I saw Liverpool link with Bolton's Davis. I was like, fucking hell. No, Kevin! No! So that's actually let's put it into perspective. It could be worse.
One that does.
Sorry, can I just say before I think Mark Davies is actually quite a good player, but go on.
Liverpool Echo, so I trust this one. About Hugo Lloris, apparently we're not going to make a bid for him, even though his president of Jean-Michel Aulas, the club's president, came out and said we'll let him leave for a decent price in today's transfer market. But the Echo are reporting that Liverpool have made no contact with Leon, and the Echo understands that there are no plans to replace Pepe Reina.
And nor should there be again. We talked about this last week.
He's the perfect goalkeeper for the type of football system that we want to employ. And a sweeper keeper.
The point was made, I believe it's actually Roy Henderson made it in, well, it might have been last month's Well Read magazine or even this month. He makes a point about like the fact that Michel Vaughan was bought for Swansea, I think, because he wanted a ball playing goalkeeper, basically, like a sweeper keeper, and that's what Pepe Reina is. Pepe Reina is the
best in the world.
Yeah, he's the mould for that type of goalkeeper. So again, unless someone comes in with a stupid bid for him, Pepe Reina's going nowhere this summer.
And the Belfast Telegraph, this is how in-depth my digging on Google has gone. Apparently we're seeking to capitalise on the financial crisis at Rangers by going after their captain, Northern Irishman Steven Davis.
Wow. That's amazing. Again, that looks to me like 2 and 2 together. Liverpool will be looking to buy. It's like everyone's leaving Rangers. Which clubs can we link these players with? He's Northern Irish. Liverpool have a Northern Irish manager. Therefore, ergo sum, boom, Steven Davis moving to Liverpool.
And then the final one for me is that we're still looking at Swansea winger Scott Sinclair.
Because apparently he's stolen a contract or something.
Deal, isn't he? But Tottenham, Aston Villa, Fulham are also interested.
I think loads of people are going to be interested in him. I think the two issues for me is apparently don't we ever deal with. Didn't he make a deal with Hugh Jenkins or whatever not to go back and nick any of the players anyway, so that's probably not going to happen. And secondly, I think we discussed this, is that I think Scott Sinclair is fine, but I think he needs to be getting the Scott Sinclair a stage higher up, which was the aforementioned Daniel Sturridge, who we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Is he good enough? I don't think so. I think he's a squad player, and again, I don't think it ties in with Brendan Rodgers, what he was saying about the player's good enough to make an impact. He said it's more Jermaine Pennant to me than it is going out and buying someone just the proper top end. So that's all you've got for rumours. It's obviously, as we say, silly season's in full effect, so expect to be just inundated with PR bollocks on Twitter.
And remember, he's not seen his squad. It's going to be a couple.
Well, the squad are back. I should be back this week. The ones who've not been figuring in any international tournaments. I know a few of the lads. There's a couple of lads away at the under-19s. Jack Robinson's gone with Conor Cody and Suso at the under-19 championship at the minute. But hopefully the other ones should be coming back in. So Rodgers, who said he's spoken to them all, he's met a few of them, he'll get to start running the rule over. I mean, pre-season's it's the end of July, isn't it? The American tour. So that's it's only a couple of weeks really. And I think what I suggested was, because he's a new manager coming in, he wants to see what he's got. He's going to need to see them play competitively as well to make a final decision on some players. Don't expect us to make any great movements in the transfer market, I don't think, until August really.
Well, and going back to what we've said in the past, is that it takes a while for players to understand the system, and he might look at someone in pre-season and go, oh no, but ultimately it's 3-4 months down the line when he's drilled his coaching methods into a player that he'll then make his decision on.
Well, it's about it's seeing the potential in the player, isn't it? And hopefully, given that he comes from a sort of youth background, he will be able to say, well, hang on, he's a player, even if it is someone who's in the mid-20s, you know what I mean? If you're talking about the likes of Aquilani, he should be able to say, well, he's got.
But in the future.
Yeah, he's got the raw talent. It's interesting one that it looks like Maxi Rodriguez is going to stay for the last year of his contract. Yeah, big.
He's a footballer.
He's a very good footballer. An interesting one actually. We were discussing at the weekend is Dani Pacheco. People, the sort of forgotten man. He was meant to be the next big thing. It hasn't quite happened for him. It hasn't happened for him in Spain at all, really. Since he's been there on loan. But he's a talented footballer, and I was thinking about this idea that if you get him back into Liverpool, how he's not blessed with pace, but Maxi Rodriguez could be a very good role model for a player like Dani Pacheco.
Yeah.
He could show him, he could help him develop in that kind of role. Coming in from wide, how to. I don't know, you learn from Maxi's movements, his football brain's world class, isn't it, and that kind of stuff.
The way he comes in at the back post and finds space is just second to none, to be honest, from that left wing. He's absolutely brilliant, and you're right there, Dani Pacheco could learn a lot from Maxi Rodriguez, and hopefully he will do, because we always want to see them do well, don't we? We don't want to have to ship them out when we've signed them and nurtured them for a few years, and if Brendan Rodgers can bring them into the fold, do it, mate. Do it, please.
Most definitely. Anyway, if you've heard any wild transfer rumours that you'd like us to look into a little bit more next week on the show, please do let us know either at the Redmen TV on Twitter or in the YouTube comments, or email us, interact@theredmentv.com, which we haven't mentioned in ages. There you go. I'd almost forgotten we had it. So yeah, do get in touch. What do you think of any of the news? Did you see the Brendan Rodgers interview? What did you make of it? And also, are you happy that we're protecting potentially Luis Suarez's long-term future at the club? Obviously, as I say, we caught a little bit of controversy last week by even daring to suggest that we might accept the bid for him. But obviously, are you happy that, as I say, that Rodgers come out and said that? Do let us know, as I say, on Twitter, in the comments section. We've also done our subscriber show this week, wrapping up on Euro 2012. The tournament is at an end, so we decided to jump on the Spanish bandwagon one more time and talk about how they managed to demolish Cesare Prandelli's Italy side. How great was Xabi Alonso, Iniesta, Fernando Torres, et al. And also, actually, because it's quite interesting, we talked a little bit about Team GB as well. The Olympics coming up, looking at at Stuart Pearce's squad. So it's fascinating stuff, I can assure you. It's on the redmentv.com as ever. It's free for the first month there, so give it away. I'll see what you think. There's shitloads of stuff on there as well. It's subscriber exclusive. If you like it, keep it. It's £2 a month there, and if you don't, just sack it off. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, and neither should you. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. We'll be back with more transfer rumours and more Liverpool general shit next week. Good night. Good night.